And I think, unfortunately, as Black women, we put our hair away and we leave it away. We don't look after our hair. We don't care about our hair. We care about the protective style and making sure that that looks good. And I think that that ultimately leads down a kind of downward spiral of, you know, the hair getting dry, brittle, X, Y, and Z, and ending up in length.
Yeah.
Not retaining length, sorry. I think with protective styling, you have to, it's, whether it's braids, whether it's weave, whether it's a wig, it's all very drying. After a while, our hair being coily or curly, whichever you've got, it needs moisture. And I think that protective hairstyling, it's almost a hands-off approach. So if you're not moisturizing your hair underneath, then unfortunately, you know, it kind of leads to the hair not getting what it needs. And then that leads to other things.
Such as breakage?
Typically it sheds about 100 strands a day. When it's more than that, and it's hard because it's like, what does 100 strands look like? But essentially it's a small ball, it's not much. When it's more than that and it's literally, you're combing and your hair is continuously coming out. So in the basins it's coming out, when you're blow drying it's coming out, when you're styling it's coming
so it's like
out.
Throughout the whole
process,
opposed to just at the wash
Yeah,
stage.
but then sometimes it's hard, so sometimes depending on the type of hair you have, you might experience most of your shedding at the wash stage, and then just a little bit more maybe when you're styling. But when the difference with what I'm talking about, you should be concerned when there's a lot of hair coming out at every single stage.
Fair.
Thinning hairlines or with thinning edges and whatever, you have to first find out what it is. Once you've identified that, we can start working on it, everything apart from when it's genetics. It could be down to diet. It could be that you need to maybe go and get a blood test, make sure your iron levels are not bad, because iron levels are one of the biggest things that cause thinning hairlines and shedding hairlines. If your diet at the core is not good, if you don't have the key amino acids that you need and you don't have the key nutrients that your hair needs, for your hair is keratin, so you need to be looking at your collagen levels, you need to be looking at, again, like your iron levels, you need to be looking at your vitamin levels. If those are not great, there is nothing you can do, unfortunately,
to help you move past that plateau.
Yeah. If you're lacking in iron, your hair stores excess amounts of iron, and your body knows that your hair stores iron, but your body needs the iron in order for it to stay awake, for vital organs to work. So what's your body going to do? It's not going to take it from your vital organs because it will die. So it will take it from your hair and your skin, where it's stored, and that's when you start seeing shedding. I will always advise, try and do it with diet before supplements, so food before supplements. Reason being, supplements take a lot longer to be broken in your system and then for the bloodstream to get it around everywhere. That's number one. Second reason is because sometimes the supplements itself can't be carried or absorbed into your bloodstream, so it needs something else to actually carry it round your bloodstream. So I think food is just the quickest and easiest way. So if, you know, you can add a lot more greens into your diet, so spinach and kale and broccoli and all of those foods that are termed superfoods and not that great, lentils, beans, these things, I promise you, they make a big difference. And I've seen it with clients that I've literally tested over, like, I don't know, we've given 6 months, they come in every month for a treatment, but I've literally said, okay, you know, do this, and we've seen a rapid growth in their hair. So it works, but you just have to do the right things. We're gonna go, for demonstration purposes, we're gonna go straight into the wash. We don't have the time. So we're gonna start off with the Jamaican Black Castor Oil range. Want to save shampoo, quickest tip is when you put it in your hands, rub it together first. Don't just put it in your hair, rub it together like that. The shampoo will like expand in your hand and you can get it around everywhere. You don't want to unnecessarily get your hair caught up in nails and then that can rip your hair out and stuff. So this part does a really good job at actually cleansing the hair. This is why it's so important to use a good shampoo, because the shampoo will do the work for you. A lot of people, especially if you've taken it out of a protective hairstyle, your first shampoo won't lather at all. And what happens is you'd feel that temptation to just add more product. That's not what you should. Just rinse it out and go in with the next shampoo. Some products don't lather, and that's their selling point, that they don't lather. What would you do there? When your hair lathers, it is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that the product is bad, especially if you've read the ingredients and you know that the product doesn't have anything harmful to your hair. And if the brand is a reputable brand, then you're good to go. It's squeaky clean, and that's without even clarifying it first. So this is really good. This is great, because I didn't do anything. I haven't seen Harmony prior to this. I didn't use a clarifying shampoo. It's almost as if it's a clarifying and a moisture in one.
Is it really just based on how often and like what you shave, for example, a few times a week?
If you can wash your hair on a weekly basis, do so. If you do it more than that, I think you might want to stop, just because that's a lot of product, and then you don't also want to get into stripping your natural product out of your hair. Or twice a month is safe for afro hair. We're going to go straight into conditioning. I always like to dry before I go to conditioning. I don't like to put conditioner on wet hair, just because I think it waters down the product. Yeah. Now the conditioner is more for the hair than the scalp. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're really coating mid-length to ends first, and then you can work into the scalp after. And notice I haven't actually used a comb yet to detangle anything. I want the product to do most of the work for me first. It feels so soft. I really like this ranging. I've actually never used it before, but yeah, I really like it. When you have a lot of split ends, your hair is prone to a lot of breakage, just because of the different lengths. The ends a bit more straggly and whatever. So for someone that's got a lot of split ends, this is all that's coming out, then this is a pretty good way of detangling. Section your hair, work the conditioner through, leave the conditioner to do its thing, and then go in and detangle. Look, there's literally virtually nothing. And her hair feels divine. It feels insane. So soft. No, I wish you could feel her hair. It feels amazing.
Alright, cool, that's fine then.
At this stage, I like to use a towel on top to generate heat. Please make sure you've rinsed all the conditioner out of your hair, because that is the basis for dandruff buildup. There's a clear difference in how her hair was before and how it is now. There's a lot more definition going on in her curls, and that's just a sign of hair that's been really, it's had a good conditioner. So they say trim your hair every 6 to 8 weeks, and they also say treat your hair every 6 to 8 weeks because it coincides with your hair cycle. But then everyone's hair is different. So some people's hair, there's some clients that I have that I don't trim their hair every 6 to 8 weeks. I trim their hair every 3 months. Okay, when you've got heat damage and you're trying to retain your length, my advice is just let the heat damage grow out. Don't cut that bit off. Your braid down, the base for your wig. I know that we've commonly seen it always in cornrows and really, really flat cornrows, and then obviously you put your wig on. Now, I don't necessarily always think that that's the best approach, especially with the focus of retaining length. The best approach is just to do something that's minimal tension, minimal manipulation. Whatever the parting of your wig is, part your own hair like that, because that means that bit, the center, wherever that part is, will always remain nice and flat, even if the rest of it isn't as flat. I don't like these grips. I always take them out. I hate them because I think that they actually contribute hugely to alopecia. They're constantly rubbing on your hair. They are, they hurt after a while. I don't like them. It's a huge no-no to me because already there's a lot of tension with the band. And I use thicker bands. I don't use the thin bands. I use the thicker bands because they hold better. So the band's sitting right here, and because the band is getting the pull-in traction from this closure, it's making this closure sit really flat. Yeah? If you don't mind the 2 levels, then you can just leave it like this, but you can see that this is a really good fit for her hair. It fits her hair really, really well. The band is sitting away from her edges, so her edges are not compromised here. This is very okay. We're gonna cheat our way into making it look something, like making it look real. Get all the way here because we wanna make it look natural. Anywhere I can see lace, I'm just gonna cover it. The beauty of having textured hair is because it's already bulky, you can actually just cheat your way into it. So all I'm gonna do